Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can get 50% off. I already messed it up, but hello and welcome back to the Who Asked Me podcast. I am back from my Jet2 holiday or a summer break or life be lifing, however you want to call it. Honestly, truly, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I did try to record this podcast. I tried to come back 2 weeks ago, the weekend of 4th of July. However, I live in St. Louis City, and I live in South City to be exact. The way they were popping these motherfucking fireworks off, I could not because they were popping the fireworks off. It literally sounded like it was right outside of my house. And then that was making the dogs go crazy and you would have been able to hear them. So then, right, because I'm telling you, it's not my fault. When I tried to record again, I got about 10 minutes in and y'all, I was going off. It was one of them times where I was just like, pop, 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 pop. I was calling everybody and their mama a loser because I had it with some of these shows. What happens? Riverside turns off. Riverside's like, sorry, we're having a router issue, not a router, server issue. I was like, I go, oh, and y'all know how I am. Sometimes I just take those things as signs like, okay, Zell, you need to take a step back and then shut your fucking mouth. And so I did that. And then just a few other things in between, but I'm back. Okay. So we're going to call that our little Jet2 holiday summer break, but we're here to get into all the things. Before I get into the shows, I have some topics I want to discuss. Y'all know sometimes I have to pop out with my WNBA. Just topics. First things first. I understand that I am a 33-year-old woman. I'm grown. But I love. Okay. Paige and AZ Fudd are official. They hard launched. Listen, this has been in works for a couple weeks. AZ put up a mirror photo in her phone case said Paige Becker's girlfriend. And everybody was like, what? And then there were little other Easter eggs, Paige signed a fan sign that said AZ Fudd's girlfriend sign here, and then she signed it. There were some weird videos. I don't like the videos, okay? I don't like people invading their privacy, but people caught videos of them holding hands in public, but still. And then I just saw it was I don't know what it was. Was it the ESPYs or no, it was All-Star. It's All-Star weekend, duh. But the ESPYs were recently. All-Star weekend, Paige was getting an interview on the carpet, and it was one of those how well do you know your D1 girlfriend? And they ask you facts about your girlfriend or your partner, and you answer them, and then it's okay, girlfriend reveal, and it was girlfriend reveal, and she was AZ Fudd, and I was like, ah! I'm okay. I'm just really happy for them. Okay. I love it. Listen, one day we will talk about how I want Love and Basketball to be remade, but with lesbians, because we need to get that rolling. It's past time. It really is. But today's not the day for that. On other WNBA news, Goss says do I watch the sport? Yes, absolutely. I watch the sport. I love basketball, but I love the girls. Okay. Sanaya Rivers and Marina Mabrey, are they dating? Aren't they not? It seemed like they were trolling at first, they were just besties. Now I don't want to say I fear, but it doesn't seem like trolling anymore. And I kind of love it. Listen, I literally right before I got on here, I was on TikTok, and Stud Buds, if y'all don't know who Stud Buds are, they're my best friends in my brains. I love them. I would love to be on a podcast with them. Anyways, they were live. I think they were streaming from All-Star Weekend. I don't fucking know where they were. Everybody's everywhere right now. And there were some clips of Marina and Sanaya, and I'm just Speaking of Sanaya had a courtside spectator thrown out of a game recently because he said something very inappropriate to her, and I want to know what the fuck he said to her. Now, listen, I only want to know because I want to stand up for my girl, right? I want to drag this man in filth with her. But it obviously was pretty bad, and I'm super proud of her for standing up for herself, because why are y'all going to court? Why are y'all going to games and harassing players? Do we want to guess what jersey he had on? I'll give you a quick guess. If you guess Indiana Fever, you're correct. Do you want to guess the player? If you guess Caitlin Clark, you're correct. Now, is Caitlin Clark in charge of all of her fans? No. But it's just very ironic that Caitlin Clark fans all happen to be the worst. But whatever. Okay, that was my only couple WNBA basketball related things. We'll move on to the pop culture now. Oh my God, we have been, I and a lot of other people, let's admit it, have been lost in Love Island land. Y'all, this Love Island USA this season has been unlike any other. Me and Kendrick and Raven were talking about it. We were texting about it. And like me, Kendrick and Raven talk every day, obviously. Like we're in the group chat every day. But it's just been like, we are so burnt out and tapped out after this season of Love Island. It's just been like, yeah. And then today we finally were like, we can't even, like, we literally cannot even take, like, where's our safe space, right? Love Island UK is great. Love Island UK is our safe space, but we are all at the point where, like, we don't even want to get online anymore because it's so fucking ridiculous. And we'll get into Love Island USA here in a second, like, fully. But it came out that they are getting a reunion because if you don't watch Love Island USA often, Love Island in general, they don't always get reunions. And I want to say this for those of you who, like, are dead set of trying to, like, push this Bravo-ness onto Love Island. Love Island reunions are notoriously, historically, not great, right? They're not like Housewife reunions or Bravo show reunions just because this is a live in time show. And the reason that it's not until like August 25th, it's generally not until a month later, is because they need time to watch these episodes. Now, I've heard a couple things in my Love Island days about the watching of the episodes, right? Of course, you can watch any of the episodes you want on Peacock. I have heard that each Islander has been given a few episodes that they like. It's strongly suggested that they watch / possibly have to watch, and they like to be able to like keep up and speak at the reunion. Nick has said in his post Villa interviews, like, I know that there's a couple scenes or instances that I know that were recorded and I want them to show at the reunion. And, you know, all of this hype is building up. But even last season 6 of Love Island USA is really good. There's no debating that. The reunion was just kind of like, you know what I mean? These kids they really leave it all out on the villa. There's not a lot that goes unresolved, to be honest with you. Just because I think a couple things. The timing, a lot of time is spent afterward talking about shit, like these podcast tours that they're going on, correct? So I just don't have like a lot of faith that it's going to be good because historically Love Island USA or Love Island reunions aren't good. Like, and that's UK, USA, all of them. It's just, they're just that. So we'll see. Do I have high hopes that Andy is going to bring something different? No. I think that I was going to say shit the bed. They shit the edit with this season so bad. Like, it's kind of hard to backtrack. It's very clear from all of the Islanders interviews and just what we saw that the show was edited towards Huda. And like, I know if you are a Huda defender, you need to exit stage left, honestly, truly, because this is not the place for you. And I'm not going to deal with with these trauma Olympics, with these, you know, victim, like, oh my God, poor her, she's been through so much. Effie, we all got pain. We all got pain. You like your past and your trauma, because you just did a Call Her Daddy interview. It's not an excuse. It does not excuse your actions. It may explain some things, absolutely. You know what I mean? But if I cuss you out and I go off on you and then I tell you I'm so sorry, or I don't even say I'm sorry, and I tell you in my childhood, my dad did XYZ, because I'm not going to dive into my childhood. I don't feel like that. But I do have a strained relationship with my dad. There were things that I saw and heard and that a child should not have to, right? If I go in and tell you that, you're going to either be like, oh, I'm really sorry, that you experience that, and then we're going to not be talking about what I did to you anymore. We're going to be talking about me and my past traumas. Or you're going to feel like I sandwiched your feelings. I railroaded you with mine and like acted like you can't be mad at me because my dad was horrible, right? Like that's just not how this works. That's not how these things work. And unfortunately, there's a section of the population who thinks that it is. I want to talk about the racism aspect of the fandoms, right? Earlier in this season of Love Island put out a notice while one of the shows was airing saying like, please do not, like, we don't condone online bullying, blah, blah, blah. That's because Huda was getting a lot of heat after her crash outs about Jeremiah. And I don't agree with them, right? There were rumors that people called CPS on her, that the father of her child said that is not true. Now, I don't think that people should even comment that thing, right? People were in my comments saying like, even today, saying like, oh, why is she not with her kid? Like like she obviously doesn't have custody. I don't know. Talking about the custody, I don't condone that shit, right? I don't condone that shit. I don't care for Huda, but her daughter is taken care of. Her daughter has two working able parents that are seeing after her. I think they said Huda said that the dad took her on a trip for her birthday, her being the child. Cool. That her dad is taking care of her. So we don't need to insinuate that Huda's child is not taken care of, because she is, whether it be by the mom or the dad. Two parents, the mother does not always have to be there. That's how I feel on that. I will not allow that talk. There's been a lot of talk about the racism comments, right? There was a photo that was made by who? I don't know, because a lot of these profiles have no photo, like no actual photo. They're like fan photos, or they're like cartoon photos, no names. We don't know who's behind them. There's a photo, unfortunately, of George Floyd being killed by the officer, I think his name was Derek Chauvin, that killed him when he was with his knee on his neck. It's just so gross. And Huda's face was over the officers, as Huda was the officer and Alandria was George Floyd. That is disturbing, and it's so far out of context. However, we are seeing this thing when we talk about racial dynamics in this show and how certain people are perceived. And there's people who are like, oh, why does everything have to be racist? This is a reality TV show. We are watching it in real time. Race absolutely, it plays a part. It plays a part in everything, okay? So Huda is Palestinian. I want to be very clear. I feel for the people of Palestine. I do not agree with the genocide happening. Huda does not get a pass for her actions because of what's happening in Palestine right now. Do you that's not how this works. That's not how this works whatsoever. If somebody came in and started being extremely disgusting and racist towards her because she was Palestinian, then yes, that would be worth a conversation. But Huda is not perceived the way she is perceived because she is Palestinian. People are not talking about her actions because she is Palestinian. Also, when you look at Huda, I know she's Palestinian because she has said that. When you look at Huda, you see racially ambiguous. When you look at Shelly and Alandria, you know that those are two black women. It doesn't take away, right, from the fact that Huda is Palestinian, but when you look at her, without knowing her, she is racially ambiguous, okay? These things matter because the way, even in the second episode, when Alandria told Huda, when she was doing all that rah-rah about, like, y'all need some real men, y'all some badass little boys, when they stood up and with the first bombshell, I think it was Sierra, and wanted to get to know her. And Alandria told her, like, hey, there's no need to do that. We're good. You don't need to do that. And she cried. It is very clear. And even with the Stand on Business challenge, even with the heart rate challenge, I truly don't think that Shelly and Alandria did anything wrong. I'm sorry. I really don't, especially not compared to where we are. But if you want to say like, Shelly doesn't have a right to be mad about, Ace and the heart rate challenge. Okay. I disagree. You know what I mean? I'm not arguing with anybody over it. I disagree. Okay. I think that there was a lot, and the people have said, the people being the Villa people have said that there's a lot that we didn't see. Chris said in a podcast that and also I want to back this up. I think that there's also, it's very clear that there are conversations being had within this villa, like per the Islanders, that it's clear that everybody's perception on something is different. So Chris said during an interview that they all sat around the fire pit before the heart rate challenge and said, like, is everybody cool with everything? And everyone consented and said yes. Okay, I want to stop there because I saw people saying like, it's not Ace's consent is not Shelly's to give, and Ace was okay with it. I think we're talking, again, this is interpretation. I have watched Love Island for a really long time. I think that was two types of consent. One, like, are you cool with this? Yes, no. And two, usually in Love Island, when we have these heart rate challenges, one, that heart rate challenge is not like it usually is. They did the heart rate challenge this year the same way they did in Love Island games. They need to put it back. Just like the same way they need to put Casa back. Okay? Stop trying all this new shit. If there's anybody from Love Island USA listening, go put it back. All right? But I think that does everybody consent to, like, this, have it doing this heart rate challenge? Yes, for their personal selves. But then there have been in the past in Love Island couples discussing what they are okay with each other doing, like what they are okay. So there have been couples that have been more like friendship couples, and they are like, oh yeah, we don't care if you like kiss. And there have been girls who are like trying to get the heart rate up, and they're like, I'm going to kiss a boy, and I'm going to kiss the boy that's in the least like committed couple. I know that guy is in a friendship couple, or I'm in a friendship couple and he's in a friendship couple, and we kind of like each other. So that is how I heard that. But again, we are leaving so much shit up to interpretation. When Chris said that, I thought of the two consents, right? One for personal, of like, yes, I'm fine with you, like y'all dancing on me and kisses and stuff like that. And then two, with the couples being like, hey, like, who's all good with everything? Who doesn't want who doing what on their person? And everybody just said, yeah, we're good. Okay. The kids at the end of the day, right? Everybody maintains that Huda did like pretty much sit on Ace's face. And even Chris said he didn't think that she did anything wrong, but he did say that she did damn near sit on his face, but he didn't think that was wrong. Again, it depends on who you ask, because Taylor and Clark and everybody else was like, yeah, she did that, and it was too far. Okay. And Chris is like, yeah, she did that, and I didn't think it was too far. So those are some of the conversations that are happening, that it just depends on who you ask, and it really doesn't need to be blown up into anything. But when it came to stand on business, that the thing that's bothering me the most with people's response to it is that challenge was designed for everybody to stand up there and have things said to them that probably weren't the nicest, but that other people had been holding in, right? And I feel like Amaya and Huda got the most emotional about what they were told. Actually, Amaya, Huda, and Ace, because I would consider Ace getting like, he cry? No, but he got pretty emotional about what was said to them. I think that while it's not fun to sit up there, I think what I'm trying to say from my mature brain is it's not fun to stand up there, but everybody stood up there and took it and did it. And that I don't think it makes anybody, anybody's worse than anyone else's. Again, what hurts your feelings may not hurt mine, and vice versa. I don't think it was fun for anybody to stand up there and get that shit hurled at them. Now, with the boys, with Amaya, Zach is a fucking weirdo. He really is. He says that Amaya said some things to him that he considered crossing the line and that were nasty. I can believe it. Okay. I do think that And it's not even think. Amaya says these things about herself. She's like, yeah, like, we saw her apologize to Ace. We saw her apologize to Zach after that. She said, I'm sorry that I said, that became like a heated exchange. And like, not after, because she called him an extremely odd individual. I found that very fucking funny. But in the heat of the moment, I just think that there was a disservice of leaving things out, where it seemed like it kind of made it seem like Huda and Amaya are these just little girls who they're just trying their best, and the big bag meanies of the villa came at them. I'm not saying that I thought that everybody was super nice to them. No, but everybody wasn't super nice to everybody is my point, right? For the love of God, Huda wrote questions and didn't even sign her name on them. She said, I took things too far in the heart rate challenge, but then turns around and asks Shelly a question. And it was like, I thought it was just a challenge. She's so taunting. She's so taunting. She's such a little sister. It's so clear. And I understand where Shelly's coming from. And I listened to Chris's interview on the Vial Files. I thought that Chris did a pretty good job being nuanced. And I really don't think he disrespected anybody, honestly. I'm not that person, so I can't say he didn't disrespect you, right? But I just think that Chris held space for everybody. For example, he even said about Alandria, he said, I was pissed as hell when Alandria revealed that kiss because I did not think it was her business. He said at the same time, I understood it. He said, and I would do the same thing if it was me defending my boy. He said, I would do the same thing. He was like, I really wasn't that mad after the fact. Like once I calmed down, he was like, it was just like a stressful environment. So I thought that he handled that pretty well. And I'm not really the biggest fan of Chris, but that's neither here nor there. It's just become Love Island USA has become these stan wars. And it really has affected how the show is going. I know a lot of people are discussing America bullied Huda by breaking her and Jeremiah up. No, baby. No. Do you know how many couples we've broken up in Love Island? Do you know how many couples we voted to break up in Love Island? And when they want to get back together and get their shit together, they do. They move accordingly. Okay? Everybody's like, oh, you don't know until you're in the position. This is a show where people vote. We vote on who our favorites are, who our least favorites are, who's most compatible. They have we voted too, but in Love Island UK, they just did all their superlatives. It's like, who's coasting, who's, just settling, who's doing this. The things aren't nice. Essentially, it's not nice to hear. It's really not. But these people are going on it. They're not signing up for something and they don't know what they're getting involved in. Okay. And that's when I'm saying that as when it comes to the voting, right? America is not wrong for voting the way we did. Okay. If anybody, I owe Iris an apology. Okay. I really did. I voted. I messed up. I don't want to say I messed up her Love Island experience. Iris, all right. Iris is all right. She got Pepe. She got TJ. She's very seems to be a very sweet girl. Okay, people love her pow, all of that. Very, very lovely. All right. But that is the thing that's really irritating me. And again, same thing, honestly, with Bella at the beginning. I should have known when everybody got mad about Bella being dumped from the island, what we were in for this season of Love Island. Because I remember me, Raven, and Kendrick were like, what the fuck is everybody complaining about? Somebody has to get dumped from this island. Somebody's got to go first. Unfortunately, it was Bella. So, bye. Okay? Try out for Love Island Games. We would love to see you. We'd love to see, maybe try out for All-Stars. I do think they should start incorporating Americans into Love Island All-Stars, right? This is not, we're not sacrificing her out into the ocean. She's just got to get on a plane. She's got to get on a Jet2 holiday and go back to, where's she from? California. It's okay. Bella will be okay, right? It's just been such a clusterfuck of a season. I do think that moving forward to mitigate some of the online hatred and vitriol towards Islanders, they need to do what they do in Love Island UK, which is I was under the impression that no one ran their socials, but somebody told me it's actually like a production person, a production assistant, and they will put the clips, like the what am I thinking of? The official photos that the show took, they will put those on their Instagram and they archive everything. And I know some of y'all are going to be like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, we had 2 racists in this, in the villa this season. I'm not necessarily talking about that. So obviously I'm not talking about Yalissa. That wasn't even on her profile. She was on a podcast that came to light. She got up out of there. And when it comes to the Sierra of it all, I said this in the beginning. First of all, I don't condone that, obviously. I just found it weird that I said, no, y'all find everything. Okay, y'all find everything. I'll be digging up in these people's lives. How the fuck was it not until the public opinion started turning on her that all of a sudden we have this photo? I said, it seems like somebody held on to it and then put it up when the public opinion kind of shifted. A few people have been like, no, it was on Reddit as soon as she came onto the show, but like no one latched onto it. That's a problem in itself. I don't care if you liked Sierra. What she said was wrong. And it's wrong, and it should have been dealt with immediately. Don't leave that there until the public opinion on her starts changing, and then you're like, oh yeah, there it is, right? Like, I don't get on Reddit, so I don't fucking know. Like, but that's my thing. It's like I do feel like had Sierra never, I know people were like complaining about her like side eyes or like the looks on her face. That's another thing. You can tell like who watches Love Island and who's not. Rule number 1 of Love Island, any clip of somebody's face close up, you don't know what that is in response to. Everybody knows that. It's literally Love Island 101. But people were upset with her facial expressions at the Stand on Business challenge, and it took off from there, right? And people really wanted Nick and Landria together. I don't know. I don't know who put that photo up. The internet has billions of people, but when it comes to Nick and Landria, listen, y'all, was I voting for Nick and Landria? No. I did vote for them at the end, like, to win, because who the fuck else was I going to vote for? Please be for fucking real. And I know some of y'all, I wasn't voting for Amaya. I don't have a problem with Amaya. I actually have very much so grown to like her, because when I first saw her on the show, like when she went off on Shelly, I didn't like that. I just do think that for me, and I'm not a person that thinks that couples have to be together since day one, but all of these couples were they just felt so thrown together, including Nick and Landria to me. So I'm not saying like, oh, blah, blah, but I was like, I'm going to vote for her. I knew Amaya was going to win. I knew plenty of people were going to vote for her. She was going to be all right. That's why I gave my vote to Nick and Landria, right? I just do think that Amaya also gets away with things that others probably wouldn't. And again, I don't have a problem with Amaya. I actually like Amaya because she owns her shit, right? I have seen her be able to say, like, I'm sorry, like, and have conversations. She seems like a very loving, caring young lady, and I'm very happy she won that money. But I voted for Nick and Landria. Do I believe in Nick and Landria? I don't believe in any Love Island couple, okay? I just want to be very clear when I say this. I am never shocked. Never, ever, ever, ever shocked when a Love Island couple breaks up. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Even if Leah and Miguel, Serena and Cordell, and Janae and Kenny, if any of them break up, I will not be shocked. It's Love Island, right? Like, I've seen so many of these couples I've really loved. I loved Whitney and Locken from Love Island UK season 10. Broke up. And I said, I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if they break up. All right? But I can say like, oh, I thought it was a friendship couple, and they do have the basis, whatever. But do I like looking at Nick and Landria? Yes, I do. Even if they are just acting, because people are like, oh, they're acting, they're hamming it up for the camera. They're doing very well. Shonda, call them. call them for something, because even if they are acting well, very well. Oh God, y'all, I just don't. Do I have any Love Island left in me? You know how Love Island has infiltrated the brain. I was threading about Real Housewives of Miami, and I accidentally put it on under the subject of Love Island USA. That's how bad it is. I do want to hop over the pond to Love Island UK really quickly. Listen. I am team Shakira and Tony till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Y'all are not getting me off of Shakira and Tony. Hair plug Harry is the problem. Harry, Dijon, and Harrison are the problems. Then the next problems are Meg and Helena. They are the problems, please. Like, people starting to come for my Tony and my Shakira. You are under spells. Tony is not the problem. Harrison and his Juvederm are the problem. That man is a liar. In the words of Davide, you are a liar. You're a liar and an actress. He's how are you going? And I'm sorry, Lauren, the girl he bought back from Casa, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, okay? Because Lauren was rubbing it in. I do feel like Lauren was rubbing it in Tony's face. Now, Lauren did not deserve that, what Harrison did, okay? No one does. But Lauren was rubbing it in Tony's face, partially because of what Harrison was telling her. But like, baby, you saw how he moved. He was in the bathroom poking and prodding and just being all up in Tony's face. How can you sit here and really think like, oh, you're in Love Island, babe. You're in Love Island. Bombshells are coming. You know what? I got to hop back over to USA. Y'all, I need to tell y'all this because I need you to know. Usually bombshells do come in after Casa. The fact that they bought no bombshells in after Casa. Do you see my... got me fucking taut. I was like, I know you fucking lying. Let's go back over the pond. More bombshells are coming in. So what the fuck you think? You really think that you're in game for a man like Harrison? I saw Harrison on fucking TikTok getting his, I'm not kidding when I call him Juvederm Harrison, he was getting his lip filler and Botox to go in the villa. He came on this show to be a villain. He wants it. And you know what else is pissing me off? Got me tight, doing my head in, as they say in Love Island UK. These men keep throwing at the girls like, oh, you got your 5 minutes of fame. You got your storyline. Oh, you got your clip for the internet. Dijon has said that to somebody. Ben said that to somebody. I don't know if Hair Plug Harry said that to somebody or Harrison, but you know what? I'm grouping them all together. And they have done plenty of things where it's like, oh, you got your scene in. You got your scene in. Like, yes, it's become a thing. Like, clearly we know why everybody's here. They especially the UK girlies, you know, they get risen to a certain level of fame over there, more so than we do over here. I don't like those men, like when the women are rightfully telling them like, what you're bad, disrespectful, babe. Bad, disrespectful, bad, out of order, bang, out of order. I don't like when they're calling them on their behavior and they're like, yeah, you got your scene in, all right, you good. They're not even making eye contact with them. It's like dehumanizing. Okay, that's dramatic. But it's just bad, disrespectful as fuck. That's the shit that's pissing me off, because like you don't want to deal with the consequences of your actions. And I'm even talking about Meg the mug right here, right? I don't like her. I do not like that young lady. But when people are like, she's talking to Dijon or somebody about their actions, not any of the other girls, because she's mean. She is mean as hell. When you're talking about your actions, you're like, yeah, you got your scene in. You don't want to answer to why did you do what you did that made me feel that way. You don't want to have actual conversation. You just want to accuse me of clout chasing. You just want to accuse me of trying to make a scene because we all are on TV. But guess what? You got a mic pack on too, bitch. You got a mic pack on too. I saw a clip now. I need to unfollow Love Island UK because obviously I watch on Hulu, so they're like days in front of me. Dijon was like trying to, and this is no spoilers, but he was no, it's not a spoiler. He was trying to talk Harrison and say like, oh, Lauren's better for you than Tony. And Tony rightfully goes over there and was like, what's going on? What's the whispers? Because I'm like, not going to have this. You're not, what if, and she said, when I say something about you and Meg and your couple, it's a problem. But you can pull Harrison over here and talk to him and tell him that you think that person is better and I have to be okay with it. No, you're a fucking idiot. You're the mug. Okay. I don't think I just used that right. I don't think Dijon is like technically a mug, but he's a fucking fool because guess what? Meg don't like you, bro. She just likes the fact that she can like control you or you're both playing a fucking game. Okay, and Meg talking about, I'm not gonna have her talking to D like that. Well, then go over there and tell her that, babe. Go walk over there and tell her that. That's my thing with Meg. When it came to Militia, when it came to Billy Kiss, she always, yeah, I said it with my chest. You didn't say it with your chest. What you said was not what you said to Militia's face. And when she said, what was that, hun? What was that? You're like, I'm talking about type. She had crackers in her mouth. I don't like when people talk with food in their mouth. It really pisses me off. I really think that's what did it in for me. I already didn't like her. I really think that's what did it in for me. When she was like, I'm talking about type, hon. I hate that shit. Chew your fucking food, then we can talk. Actually, I'm not even going to talk to you if you're taking a bite. I'm not. Ask Megan, my Megan, my girlfriend. Like, I fucking hate that shit. Anyways, I'm like, Tony is pulling you up on something that is actually very valid. And Shakira, of course my homegirl gonna be over here. Because you over here with your homeboy talking about me. Yes, I'm bringing me and my homegirl over here. What the fuck you thought this was? When it come to movie night, they played in Shakira's face so fucking bad because, yes, what Shakira said was mean, but like she said, she stood on it and she said, I said it to be mean because you were doing shit behind my back after asking to borrow my bikini. And if you play in my face and you're trying to treat me like a mug while after you asked me to wear my bikini, you're damn sure I'm about to be like, you know what? That bikini don't even fucking fit you. Fuck off. You fuck off. And all them boys like, Meg and Helena are the meanest fucking bitches up in there. And they want to talk about looks. And I'm happy Shakira said that to Meg. Like, no one's innocent. I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm innocent. Like I just told you, I said it to be mean. At least I'm telling you, I said it to be mean because you pissed me off. I just watched you talk about me and go on, girl, strut down your stuff with your fucking catwalk. And she's like, I was just talking about how you're walking. I'm not talking about how you're walking, but no, you are talking about how we're walking. You're making fun of how we walk because something we did pissed you off apparently. Something everybody does pisses Meg off. Ooh, she does my head in. She does my fucking head in. Helena, I hope your good gal pals grab you after you exit that villa, and I hope that they pour into you, honestly, because the way even Maya Jama had to be like, Helena, you laugh a lot when Harry is muggy to your face. Like, what's that about? Because I don't know the last time that I saw someone seem to have such low self-respect. It's troublesome to me. I want somebody to be there for her. It's obviously not going to be Meg because those two dumb bitches telling each other exactly. I have spent way more time on Love Island than I had intended to. So we need to move on. Real Housewives of Miami. Guys, I'm upset. What's happening to my show? It's getting weird. Julia, listen, like I said, I'm not going to do too much on Julia because last time I was recording this podcast and I did a lot on Julia, called her all types of losers, it cut off. And I'm going to take that as an omen, right? But I don't care if you don't like Gertie, if you think Gertie is extra. One, I'm going to argue that everybody on that cast is extra. Julia throwing that water on Gertie was so beyond uncalled for. Throwing water on somebody in general is always uncalled for, but with Julia, it was even more so uncalled for. You invited her on a trip. All of a sudden, she's not sitting at the table with you. The arrangements were not arranged to how they were supposed to be. Yes, I'm going to be upset. You invite me somewhere, then you say, we're going to dinner at this time, but I'm sitting here. I don't know where you're sitting. Guess what? I'm pulling up a chair and I'm sitting right next to your ass. The fuck? Are you, who does that? I'm sorry, that's like a poor host as well. Don't invite me somewhere and you don't know like where I'm supposed to be, who, what, where, when, why. I would feel very lonely as well. But then you throw that drink and I'm just like, the women's response is so crazy to me because what do you mean, Gertie, you're very defensive, my love? I just got a drink thrown at me. I have to defend myself. I got to be quick with it. Since we're throwing objects now, how do we think Alexia would react if someone threw a drink at her? She wouldn't even film with them again. She wouldn't. I don't care what anybody says. She'd be like, no, they can go or else I'm leaving. No. Whatever's happening with Lisa and Larsa, I'm very annoyed by it. Right? But I have to say I'm Team Lisa on this one. Now, Lisa and Larsa are two peas in a pod. They act the same. That's why, again, it's doing my head in, bruv. To listen to them complain about each other. Y'all do the same shit. Larsa, you just don't have a man right now. Or maybe she does. I think she found some other new young ball player, but it's not that serious yet, I don't think. But like, oh my God. You cannot be talking about zoom in on Jody's eyes when we know what Marcus Jordan was doing. And I cannot stress enough, I highly, highly, highly doubt that is a new habit. You must get real, Larsa. And I also want to get into this new girl, Stephanie. First of all, her voice sounds like Dr. Nicole's a little bit to me. And it's like a jerk reaction because I'm like, oh my God, is Dr. Nicole here? I don't like her. Stephanie, not Dr. Nicole, obviously. I don't think I like her. Emily Hanks of She Speaks Bravo, she did a video and it kind of was like a little mini deep dive. I don't know if Emily meant it to be a deep dive, but it was a deep dive for me because I learned more about Stephanie than I knew before. But yeah, the money is funny. The money is funny. The husband was somebody else's husband when she met him. Okay. And the whole like boss girl gang. Oh my God, they're arguing. I'm sitting here thinking about work. How many emails do I have? Girl, go to work then. Go to the motherfucking office. Which all you doing is renting out some condos. All you doing is building some condos. Okay. Go to the office. I don't care. That shit be on my nerves. I cannot stand it, especially when you know the money is funny. At least tell us what happened with you and your sisters. Okay? Please be for real. The Valley. I think I'm the only person on earth that I want Janet and Kristen to quit it. Both of them. I want both of them to quit it. Listen, Janet, you really don't do yourself any favors, mama. You truly don't. It's crazy to me. The way Janet acts is crazy to me, right? Duh. But what's craziest to me is Janet is clearly a fan of the show. She was. She has hurled Crazy Kristen and other insults that are callbacks to the past to Vanderpump Rules, which she was not on, and hurled them at Kristen. But she is like, when I look at my comment sections, it's clear that Kristen's going through my comment section and like saying these insults. No, baby. Kristen is saying the insults and then the comments, the people commenting are copying Kristen. That's what's happening there. You got it the wrong way around. But you can't sit here and act like a victim. You cannot. Now, where I am on the sexual assault thing, I don't think that Janet should have said that, right? I want to be very clear. Technically, is that assault? Yes. What Danny did is assault. Okay. I wouldn't say that. Like it is under the umbrella of assault though, because like if you are walking down the street and a man, or if you're at a bar, right? And a man like touches you in a like intimate area, you're going to be like, yo, what the fuck? And that I feel like the thing that's bothering me is I feel like that people underestimate how triggering things like that can be. And that's what that's what irritates me about it. You know what? I'm not even going to get into that. I feel like it's not being taken seriously because people like Nia so much and because like Danny apologized, like whatever. I hate that. I don't think Janet should have said it. And if I was happy Melissa said, if me and Jasmine are moving on from this, y'all need to move on from it as well. Like we're not doing this, right? But I maintain that, let's say the roles were reversed and it was Jason, Janet's husband, who did what Danny did, who got drunk, had a drinking problem, or allegedly had a drinking problem, and grabbed someone's ass. Kristen would never drop it. She would never drop it. She'd be like, no, fuck that. He's a weirdo. He's this, he's that. So that's kind of my issue with Kristen. Like, the rules do not apply for everyone to her. She cannot like Janet. I wouldn't like Janet either if I were her, right? But I just hate that she's acting as if like it's almost like Danny did nothing wrong. Because again, if it were Jason, she would never let it go. Jax isn't coming back next season. I love good news. I love good news. Prayers are answered. But you know what that reminded me of? Chai, shout out Chai, friend of the pod. She like has this theory that Jax is going to, I think for the first part of it was that like Jax is going to get fired, right? He is going to move back to Michigan, meet some like single mother who's going to give him a second chance at being a dad. And like paint Brittany, because he's already started painting Brittany, you know, in the light of like, you won't let me be a dad and it's all I want to do and blah, blah. I said, no, this is exactly, I was like, when I found out he was fired, I was like, oh my God, the theory is it's cut. We've completed step one. We have completed step one and it is, oh God, I can see the writing on the fucking wall with that one. But yeah. Real Housewives of Atlanta. Guys, I don't know who's lying. We have too many liars. I don't know who's lying. The first part of the reunion was pretty good. Not going to lie. I was more entertained than I thought I would be, especially because we're missing a big key part of the drama, which is Britt Edie. She says she's never coming back. Duh. You didn't show up to the reunion and you're suing Bravo and one of the cast members. Duh. We didn't need you to announce that. Duh. What? What the fuck are you talking about that for? I think I'm not super up to date on Next Gen NYC. That Charlie guy is nuts, should know because he has a terrible name. I did not need to say that, but whatever. The shy kid, I was surprised by him. I don't mind him. Miss, I don't wash my hands. She kind of, Georgia, I'm so 50-50 on her. I'm so 50-50 on her because sometimes she's fine, sometimes she's not. That makes a great reality TV star. Riley, great. Ariana, star. Kimberly, wig, Zolciak Bierman, you raised a motherfucking reality TV star there. Gia, bye. Bye, Gia. Bye. Oh, God, I don't even want to get into it. On that note, I was going to talk to y'all about Love Island games. See? Love Island. It's infiltrating. There's a lot of new Love Island watchers, and one thing that I said, me, Raven, and Kendrick all said, like, we are so fucking tired of people approaching Love Island the same way they would approach, like, a Big Brother. We don't talk about the show in the game sense. Like, yes, there's cash to win at the end, but, like, no, don't talk about it like that, okay? If you want to talk about it in the game sense, you should watch Love Island Games because there's also, like, you couple up in that, but there's no pressure to be a romantic couple and you won't get voted off for being a romantic couple. And there's like legit challenges. So y'all should watch it. It is pre-recorded and that's fine with me. There's no voting involved with that one. But yeah. Okay. That's going to be it for this episode as far as like pop culture, shows, all of this. If you want to stick around and get into my business a little bit, we will get into that. I'm going to give you a minute to exit stage left if you don't care. Okay, so obviously, like I said, I went on a little bit of a summer break. I had a lot going on. So I went to Chicago to get my hair braided. I went to Chicago for Beyonce. It was 4th of July. I feel like I went somewhere else. I was in Atlanta this past weekend, just doing things. But in between there, y'all know I like to talk about like my mental health and things and just kind of check in with you. So I can't remember if I said this back in March, maybe. My doctor suggested that I go on Lexapro. I did not because I was like, I'm very like hesitant to, I believe in medicine. Like, you know what I mean? I have no problem going to the doctor. I am not Monique Samuels. I don't do essential oils or anything like that. But it was a big step. I've never been on antidepressants before. And I don't go into like taking medication lightly. So I was just like, oh, blah, blah. At this point, I am starting to consider it maybe a little bit more just because I I know that I talked to y'all about my divorce, but I think the one thing that I did not say is that while I was going through my divorce and my marriage breakdown, I also was going through a pretty big friendship breakup. And I think that for me, I'm already like getting emotional. I knew that it was happening. And I think I knew that that friendship breakup, looking back, hindsight is 2020. I think that that friendship breakup was inevitable now that I look at it, but it was a lot for me. So like if you've been a longtime listener of mine, you know that back when I was getting married, I had two maids of honor. My bachelorette party is notoriously a dumpster fucking fire. So much happened. I talked about it on here back then in 2022. And I ended up having to kick one of those girls out of my wedding. And I want to be clear. I don't say that. Like I cried in that, episode. I don't say that with like, yeah, I kicked her out of my fucking wedding. That hurt me. It hurt me to do that. It hurt me to have to end that friendship. I know that it probably does not seem like that to her, but like it did. You know what I mean? I have to like put stops to things. And there was some drama that was involved with the other maid of honor. And I don't know. I can't put myself back into that space of when that happened just because so much has taken place in my life, not having to do with any of those people. But like, I can't really like go back there to like really remember just because I can't put myself back in that mindset. But for me, I think the friendship really changed right around that time. And I can be 100% honest and say like there were things that I was unhappy about in that friendship that I never spoke on. And I have been like realizing through therapy and through just like growth that I tend to water relationships that are not like for me are not watering back to me, right? So I feel like I put the most energy into relationships that I'm trying to make. I watered the most relationships that I'm trying to make like force caring about me instead of watering the relationships where I know that I am loved and supported and cared for and understood. And even if I'm not understood, there's a conversation that can take place from mutual respect. And my ex-husband was one of those. I think that I always knew that he did not, I don't know. I can't speak for him. I really can't. I think that there was definitely a friendship there. But I think that I was still trying to make that relationship something that it wasn't. And I think I have the same for the friendship breakup, the most recent one that I processed. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, I'm innocent because I'm not. I will just say like, there were some things at the beginning of the downfall of that friendship breakup that I was not happy with. And I didn't say anything for me because I was like, my marriage is breaking up. I don't have the mental capacity to like argue or like express to anyone else like that I am upset. And I think for me also, I was trying to like check myself because I was so emotional. I think y'all like, if you've listened to me for a long time, y'all know that I really did when I said like, oh, I'm getting divorced. I was very flippant about it. And that's how I did kind of approach it. Like with people in my real life, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting divorced. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Like, ha ha ha. It's not fine. Like, you know what I mean? My doctor told me like divorce is traumatic. Like when he suggested I go on leaxapro, and I was like, no, it's fine. We don't have any kids, no property. Like it's totally fine. We're only married. And he was like, no, it does not matter. Like, he was like, I think that divorce is a traumatic event, no matter if you have kids or property or anything like that. And I think that I was like, it's fine. It's totally fine. For me, I was married to him, right? I can't blame, and I wanted a divorce. I cannot blame anybody for making me do that because it's what I wanted to do, and that's what happened. But I think for me, I kept that close to my chest. And there were a couple people I did not even tell. I really did not tell any of my like friends, my close friends, that I was unhappy. Now, this person knew that I was unhappy. And for me, they would say it to me and I didn't want to talk about it. And then when I said it, I was like, okay, they kind of know what's going on. So I will just like say, like it'll be easiest. And I did lean on them a little bit, but then it felt like I couldn't really lean on them. And there were some, okay, some other things going on in there. And I'm trying to think about how I want to phrase this. There was some points of contention. I will leave it there. And there are some misunderstandings. And I think for me, where I left things off was like I did something to them that they did not like. They told me about it. I apologized. To me, I did not think that was worth ending the friendship, but then I was told by somebody that was close to them that they did not wish to be my friend anymore. And I was just like, okay, like actions have consequences, right? Did I mean to do something that upset her to that level? No. Is it something I would end the friendship over? No. Would I have told her to her face instead of having somebody else come to me and tell me like in the back of alley of my job? Yes. But I have to like deal with that. So that was the information that I received. And again, this person was close with them. So I was like, okay, if that's how, I apologized to her. It was like a thumbs up text, like, don't give a fuck. Then I received that information. So I was like, I'm just going to move accordingly. Like, this is just like how this is going to go. Again, actions have consequences, whether you meant to do something that upset them or like that they took as, upsetting or not. I didn't. And there are a couple other people involved that I do personally feel like they said sorry and they were forgiven, but I wasn't. And it's fine, right? And then, there's in these friendship breakups, there's like no talking and like things start getting a little like lost in the sauce. I know like for me, people were like, and I can only speak for myself, people were saying things to me that I was like, I don't know, like if this is this person saying this or if this is just people being messy. So I just try to like continue to like stay in my lane and like not do anything, right? So I think for me, just the extra break right in there came in like dealing with the fact that one, like I have been watering these relationships that seemingly like I've been wasting time on and there's seemingly no more. And then I think it hit me like a ton of bricks also when I saw my ex-husband and that person hanging out. And I was like, oh, it's a little weird to me because, I know what they had said to me about him and I was like, I wasn't expecting that. And it's like right in front of your face. And then there's, people are messy. Things are posted online and, proof more of them hanging out and, being besties now with their partners. And it's weird for me. It absolutely is. And I do think that it seems like, I don't know. I was going to say, it seems like certain things are posted online for me to be upset. And like, yes, I'm a human. That's going to upset me. But you know what upset me even more? The downfall of those relationships and realizing that I think I gave a fuck more than they did. What upset me even more, like it's okay to be sad. Like the people that are posting shit online to like upset me, congratulations, here's your cookie. Yes, my feelings were hurt. My feelings will be hurt again about something else and then they'll be fine. And then they'll be hurt again about something else and they'll be fine. I just like, for me as a 33-year-old woman, it's a little confusing because even though I don't like my ex-husband, I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. I don't want to go out of my way to upset him. I don't want Megan, my girlfriend, to go out of her way to do anything or say anything to upset him. And it feels like that is the opposite from him and his partner's end. And you know what? Again, congratulations. I think for me, I'm like, we could spill each other's tea left, right, and center, but the point of a divorce and the point of going our separate ways is to not have to. And so that's what I just find a little bit like odd. But yeah, like it feels like, and then like there's, okay, again, always just shit going on. And so I think for me, like I just got so fucking overwhelmed that I was like, I am going to lose my mind. And people want you to lose your mind, right? Like, and it's okay to lose your mind a little bit, I think. Everybody's human. Everybody's going to react and be upset about something. But I think it's like staying in the place. Like one thing that was a realization for me is staying in the place of letting this like just completely break me down. What is really important to me is my happiness and being in a space where I don't feel like people are going out of their way to misunderstand me. And maybe not even going out of their way to misunderstand me. Having people in my life that I realize, like, I really don't think that you understand me. And maybe actually you understand me very well. And so you're purposefully trying to hurt me. I don't fucking know. It's not for me to like figure out. I think that, you know, with friendship breakups in general, it's okay. One thing that I've learned, it's okay to like be like, damn, that stings. Damn, that fucking sucks. That hurts. That sucks. But it's not the end all to be all. My ex-husband and my ex-friend are not like, I'm not going to go have a meltdown about it. I didn't like, I think for that, I am proud of myself. For that, I am proud of myself because yeah, I was upset and I was like, that's fucking crazy to me. But I also think Facebook statuses are crazy, but we won't go there. I just, you know, I like to be honest about, you know, my journey and my mental health. And like a lot of you have gone through things that are similar to me. And when you message me and say like, you know, I feel better about like this situation going on in my life and anything like that, I just like to be open and honest and let y'all know like what's going on over here without, you know, obviously being too fucking messy. But also, okay, this is going to be messy, but like the online shit, and Megan does not think this is funny, but her ex-girlfriend was online talking shit about her and called her Wreck-It Ralph. And my girlfriend is not Wreck-It Ralph, okay? But y'all know me, and I, when she's been walking in the house, I've been like, what's up, Wreck-It Ralph? And she's like, fucking stop it. I'm like, you have to laugh at some of this shit, you have to fucking laugh at. Because if you don't, it will upset you. Your ex calling you Wreck-It Ralph on Facebook is crazy. And you have to laugh about it because like you would never get, I mean, I would never get on Facebook and call my ex anything. But yeah, I just like to be honest, let y'all know what's going on. I will keep you updated on my leaxapro. I don't even want to say journey because I got the prescriptions filled, but I haven't picked it up. And I don't know what I'm so hesitant about. I think it's because for me, and this is what I'll leave you with. For me, I don't want it to shut me off, right? I spent so much time being like, I'm fine. I'm good. I don't cry. I'm not upset about this. I'm not, you know, this doesn't bother me. And now I'm like, no, like that does bother me. And you know what? That's fine. It bothered me today. Tomorrow's a new day. What do I have in my life that like makes me happy? All of these things. What do I want in my life? I want to have a family. I want to have kids. And like, I can't show up and I can't be fucking crying in the corner or upset for days on end because my ex-husband and my ex-best friend want to kick it and put Facebook statuses out about it. Like if I, you know, that doesn't benefit where I'm going in life. So like feel your feelings when they are presented to you and then like just move on. And that's kind of, I think, where I want to like see if I can process and like do those things instead of the shutdown that I do, because I am a shutdown fucking queen. Like, and don't get me wrong, we will still be shutting down because everybody is fucking blocked. Everybody is blocked. But like, I still will shut down, but maybe not as much. So I'll let y'all know if I pick up the Lexapro. And if you have been on Lexapro or any type of antidepressant, please let me know, just tell me like what you experienced or how you liked it or didn't like it, because I've read a lot of things online and I've asked a few people, but I would love to get some other opinions. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you are watching on YouTube, we will be back with our regular scheduled programming of the episode reviews next week, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.